Hi everyone, I'm Ross, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to pull your own grips off your clubs and re-grip them. So guys, we need a few tools to make this nice and easy. Tee, white spirit, grip puller, and it is extremely easy because all we have to do, a little basin as well, catch any excess white spirit, take the tee, put it on the butt end of the club, like so. Stand your club up, grip facing down, take the grip puller, just slide it in at the top, making sure not to rip the grip. You feel a little bit of resistance. When you feel the first little bit of resistance, just push it out so there's a little bit of gap between the club and the puller. And just put the white spirit down the grip. Doesn't matter if it overspills, that's what the tray's for. Fill it until it's full, and then just slowly twist. Sometimes it's easier to take it out of the tray. Put it on the towel or mat. Just twist slowly down, just making sure again not to catch it, not to rip it. If you start to see it twist too much, just realign it. Just slowly twist and push that grip puller down slowly. As you can see, the grip there's getting a bit twisted. Just recenter it. There we go. Again, just go back, push and twist very slowly. As soon as you feel some resistance, just stop, get your tray back, pour a bit more white spirit down that grip. There you go. See, just catching any excess in the tray. Again, just push and twist. Again guys, this is, probably a couple more minutes longer than just cutting them off. But if you want to reuse the grips, add more tape, or use the grips on something else, this is a much more cost-effective method. Between the white spirit, the tee, and the grip puller, all in all is about maybe 15 quid. As I say, grip puller, you can see that now, it's coming away happily from the shaft. Once you've got it fully to the butt end and you feel no more resistance, you can just slowly work that grip off. You can twist it until it comes away, or you can just slowly push it down the shaft. Again, twisting it, pulling the shaft is slightly easier depending on how long your arms are and your shaft. And look at that. Clean away. We'll get rid of all that residual tape shortly. Grip puller out, any excess white spirit in there. Just clean the grip puller. Old towel or an old t-shirt. In this case it's an old t-shirt. Throw it up there. You see that grip puller is clean and free of any tape. Grip itself pulled, no rips, no cuts, ready to be reused. We'll clean that out. We can clean that out using another little toy. So you can either wash it out with white spirit, or you can use this, which is all it is a bit of wire brush, unextended lead there. It's just really, you can stick it in to any grip, twist it round, and it'll pull out any residual. I typically just wait for it to dry, just to make sure that you don't get too much tape when it's wet and binding round. So what we'll do is we'll leave that to dry. We'll also leave the shaft to dry a little bit, so it'll be nice and easy taking the remaining tape off. We'll just heat the tape and peel it off. So we've got 3 shafts that are ready to go, 3 of my old wedges. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap them out for an align grip on the 50 and the 54 and 58. we'll get Z grips, which will be replacing, they are going to be all mid-size, which is replacing the standard Z grip and 2 lambkin grips, which what we'll do is we'll keep them spare, and they will go on either some older clubs or some family and friends. Thanks guys, see you next bit. Okay guys, with some of these shafts, you can see there wasn't a lot of excess tape on this one. So what you can do is you can heat the grip with a blowtorch, or you can heat it with a hairdryer. Will sometimes work. You can get it hot enough just to peel the tape off. With this one, just because there actually isn't that much tape left on it, because of how it was originally gripped. Again, not originally gripped by myself. What I'm going to do is the tape that's on this is a slightly lower quality tape, so I'm going to have to basically just take a little bit of white spirit and just wipe down the shaft to remove, you can see it all starting to come off now, that sort of gunky tape that's left on. So once we've done that, we'll leave the shaft just to dry. Should take 20 minutes, half an hour, just for that white spirit just to come off the shaft. And then what we'll do is we will, in the meantime, cut the tape to the right length, and then once that shaft's dry, we'll tape the shaft. What we'll do is take the T and we'll stick it in the butt end of the grip, and then we'll put white spirit down the grip, get the grip all prepped, and then put some white spirit on the tape, and then slide that down and align it. What we're going to do with these as well is we're actually going to align it with, some people like to align it with the Golf Pride down. I quite like, for alignment in the face, to have it up. So as I say, it's going to be a mid-size, and that's probably going to have that Golf Pride facing up. Might put it face down, depending, but I think it's going to be face up. So now the shafts are all dry and all clean. What we can do is we can take our grip, take our grip tape. Basically, I'm going to measure that out. From the grip end down, I'm going to add about an inch extra, just to make sure get plenty of space. So about there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to double layer this. So, first cut. Second one's always easier because you've got something to base it off. So again, measure that out. So, 2 sets of grip tape, measured out. Now what you can do, so you've got a marker pen, you can mark the point at which the grip's going to go on. So for us it's going to be just above this taper. So I'm not too worried about eyeballing it because I can always tidy it up afterwards. With a Stanley blade. And just roll that around, making sure that there's no bumps or creases in it. Find this easy to do. Palm of your hand, just run it up and down, just like so. And before you get to that point where it overlaps, just make sure you just lift that edge off, stays flat, run that all the way up, just so you don't get any overlap. There we go. Roll it round. Again, just using palm of hand. First layer done. Just twist it at the top. And what we're going to do is do the exact same again. Second layer. This is much easier if you've got a workbench and a clamp, but not everybody does, including myself. Make sure that that is stuck down. Perfect. Done. So, next step is get grip, get a trusty T again, just get that pushed into the end. Again, this is just so that we can spill any white spirit. White spirit into the grip. And all we're doing on this one is just making sure that you get the grip well coated. Take our grip. This is my other one. And then what we do is we just pour that white spirit right down the grip, from the grip, right down the club. Make sure it's well coated. Now just pull that T out, take our grip, I'm going to slide that on. I've got a brush here with a little bit extra white spirit just to make sure it's well coated, just to make sure that it goes on. Nothing worse than not using enough white spirit, getting your grip halfway down and either spending 45 minutes fighting with it or having to cut it off. And yes, I've had to do both. Right. Now, put that straight down. One brand new grip on. Now, we just want to make sure we've got it well aligned. Yes, I decided to put grip on the back. So, most grips will have an alignment at the top and the bottom. You want to make sure you've got them straight, and you also want to make sure that you've got the grip square. So that's 3 grips pulled and saved from my wedges, and the 3 wedges is just sitting over here. So that's the 3 wedges with their mid-sized grips on now, 2 layers of tape. I'll typically leave that instead of an hour, I'll leave them overnight, make sure they're properly drying on, and then they're ready to go tomorrow for some practice. But you can see, guys, just while I was doing that as well, I've also changed out my putter grip as well. So I had an old Odyssey Super Stroke 2.0 mid slim on this. You can now see that I've got a wrist lock on it. This was a bit more tricky, purely because the shaft itself tapers down, so I had to be very careful making sure that when you've got a shaft that does taper down, that instead of just putting on 2 layers of tape, what you normally do is you might need 2 layers of tape at the top, but you actually might need 3 or 4 by the time you hit the bottom. So it's just one to watch out when you are doing tapered grips. As I say, that's done, that will sit and wait overnight, and you can see there it's got the counterbalance as well in that, and that's from my old Jailbird Mini. So guys, that's how to swap them out. As I say, my wedges will sit there overnight, putter will sit there overnight as well, just making sure that they are 100% set before we put them into any practice or play. We've also got a few other grips to swap out at some point as well. We've got a couple of jumbo grips, including a Jumbo Max, and we've also got a Pistol reverse taper Golf Pride grip as well, which is going to go in the Gamer putter. We'll be doing that over the next couple of weeks, so if this video does well and you want to see more, like, comment, subscribe, and I will film doing these as well. Thanks very much, guys. Take care. Bye.